Hey there, yogis. I'm Nicole. Welcome back to my yoga time. Thanks for joining me today. Today's yoga snack is quite dynamic. We've got lots of strengthening work with some yummy stretches. We're focusing on the whole body, and I've got 2 blocks for this practice. So grab yourself your blocks. If you've only got 1 block, take a hold of that 1 block and maybe a rolled up towel as well. If you don't have any blocks, then definitely get yourself that rolled up towel. When you're ready, let's begin on all fours. From here, we'll be coming straight down into our puppy pose, keeping those hips up nice and high, reaching the hands out in front. If you're keeping the arms straight, have them as wide as the mat. We want the forehead to meet the mat, and if it doesn't come down with ease, take hold of your prop and support the head. If you're nursing a shoulder injury, you can bend that arm and use the back of the palm as a pillow. And third option, elbows a little closer, hands to prayer, above the head. Begin to feel the breath in the upper body. Feeling the ribs and chest expand as you inhale in all directions. A moment to pause before you exhale, softening the heart towards the mat. And let's inhale and lift on up. So we're going to stay with the upper body and shoulders, coming down onto those forearms now. Feel as though you're squeezing the forearms in towards each other. And then we're going to lift up the hips, dolphin pose, and step those feet in just a little bit closer. So bottom up nice and high. Keep pressing forearms towards one another. And now try and send your armpits towards your thighs. Let the head hang. Keep the jaw relaxed. From here, gently step those feet back. Tuck the tailbone under a little as you lower down into your forearm plank. And of course, you can always bring one knee down to the mat or come down into your Sphinx pose if you need to lighten. Otherwise, holding here in your forearm plank, rounding out the upper back, broadening the shoulder blades. If you'd like a little more heat in your practice today, you can alternate lowering one hip down to the mat and then the other to fire up those oblique muscles. And let's come down into our Sphinx pose and lowering all the way down. Taking the hands out now. Hands are a little bit further in front of the shoulders and a little bit wider. And feet are about hip width apart. Tailbone tucking under. Let's inhale, lift up through the shoulders. And exhale to lower down. So it feels as though you're making a circular motion with the shoulders. One more. Coming down for the last time, hands under shoulders. Let's press up on your hands and knees. Coming into your child's pose. Be sure to round the back, then sink back towards the heels. Give the shoulders a good rest now, resting hands next to the feet, palms facing up. Let the shoulders relax. And let's lift on up from your child's pose, coming onto all fours again, and then into your plank pose, straightening out both legs. Let's step the left foot forward halfway between the right foot and the hands, and then turn the toes out to the left, raise the left arm up. So if you can, try and lift the big toe knuckle so you're pressing the knee away. You're going to get more into the IT band there, if that's available for you. Otherwise, big toe knuckle can stay on the mat. Let's reach that left arm overhead, look down, press your hips up towards the ceiling. Now for many, this will be enough. If you'd like to go a little bit further, lower the hips and the left arm. and then inhale to press up. So you really want to press into the pads of the right fingers here. And as you squeeze the pads of the fingers in towards one another, you might feel the middle part of the palm lift, like you're creating a little suction cup with the hand, and that's good, creating a bandha around the wrist. Let's lower left hand down, step the left foot back, downward facing dog. And then come forward into plank. We'll repeat on the other side. Right foot steps forward, halfway between left foot and hand. Either staying here or taking your flow. Right hand coming all the way down now, step it back, downward facing dog. Legs can have a little bit of a walk, and then we'll continue to walk those feet up towards the top of the mat. So staying here in your forward fold for just a moment, recruiting your blocks if you've got the two. We want to take them to the high side, underneath the shoulders, just in front of the feet. And if you've only got the one block, then both hands to that one block. So a little bit of a walk out here for the hamstrings and a twist for the spine. Let's drop or bend the left knee, raise the right arm up, inhale. And then exhale, right hand down, bend the right knee with the left arm. One more on each side. Well done. Bring the hands back towards the feet. Roll up to stand, coming all the way up. Well done, yogis. Let's bring those big toes together now. Keep the heels a little apart. Hands can come to the heart center. Chair pose, bend the knees. So knees are together, big toes together, heels apart. Option 1 is here. Option 2, twist to the left. Left hand low back, right hand out of knee. Option 3, take your hands to prayer. Let's all draw the right knee back a little. If your hands are in prayer, left palm presses down and tries to slide forward. Chin slightly tucks and the neck moves back. Jalandhara Bandha. Let's look down towards the foot. If you can, with control, step the right foot back into your lunge. So you could be here or you could be here. Remember to breathe. It's not yoga if you're not breathing mindfully. Let's bring the torso to center and then transition warrior 2. So hips will turn to the right, ground the right foot down in a slight angle, bending in the left knee. Reverse the warrior. And coming all the way up, bring the back foot in a little bit closer, triangle pose. Let's press the feet away from each other, reach forward, and then lower down. Looking up if the neck permits, chin tucking in, otherwise looking down. Gently pressing into both feet and breathing into all 4 limbs. Let's look down if you're not already. Take the right arm overhead, reach forward, and then lower both hands down to frame the foot. Rock back, step up to the top of the mat. Inhale halfway up, you've got your blocks there if you need. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive. Hands to the heart, big toes to touch, heels apart. Let's practice that on the other side. Chair pose with a twist. Bhavarita Utkatasana. Option to keep it in the center. We'll take the hands to the low back and the outer knee, or elbow to the knee, hands to prayer. Look down with control, step your left foot back. Pressing into both feet evenly, as though you're trying to stretch the mat with your feet. With control, come back to center and then transition warrior two. Reverse the warrior. Prepare for your triangle pose. Bring the back foot in a little bit closer. Press into both feet as though you're stretching the mat. This will create more stability around the hips and the low back as you transition. Be careful of not hyperextending this knee. Micro bend if you need to, or engage the quad, pull up the kneecap. Let's look down. If you're not already, take the arm overhead. Inhale. And bend the knee, lower down, downward facing dog. Feel free to shake out the head, walk out the legs if you need to, and definitely haar out the breath. And let's lower those knees to the mat. So bring the knees together. If you can, we're going to take the legs into Gomukhasana, cow face. If that's not an option for you due to knee or hip injuries, then you're going to cross the legs with the right leg in front of the left. So if you're coming into cow face, left knee behind the right, feet wide, press the knees together, and then you'll come back to sit down in between the feet. Now you can always sit yourself up on your block. Once again, if Gomukhasana, cow face legs, is not an option for you, cross your right leg in front of the left. Calves are crossing, not the ankles. Make sure the feet are underneath the knees. If your knees are high, sit up on your block. Elevate the hips. Otherwise, right leg crossed on top of the left. Now we're flexing in the feet and we're pressing the feet down. And you might choose to stay upright, or if you can, folding forward just briefly. Stay up on the fingertips and really round the back. Try and send the hips back a little. Let's inhale to come up. Arms out to the side. Cross the left over the right. Bend your left arm. You might choose to stay here. And if you are, bring that left shoulder down. Create a little bit of resistance between the arms. Otherwise, bend the left arm, bring the backs of the palms together. We'll take the full bind. Forearms are pressing together. Breath awareness into the upper back and shoulders. Inhale. And as you exhale, release the hands down and twist to your right. So right hand behind you, left hand to the outer knee. Option one is here. Option two, take a hold of your right foot with your left hand, straighten the leg, push the foot into the hand, pull the hand into the foot, and then twist into your balance. Let's release, come back to center. If you're sitting on the block, come off the block briefly. Leaning back for your boat pose, picking up both feet. Of course, you can practice one at a time if that's too strong. Option to take Chin Mudra through those fingers. And let's lower down. Left leg crossing in front of the right this time. Or stacking left knee on top of the right. Let's flex the feet. Round the back, bring the fingertips forward if you can. Sink the hips back a little. Breathe into the back. And coming back to center, eagle arms, Garudasana. Arms out to the side. Right arm crossing on top of the left. Option to keep the right arm straight or take the bind. Let's unravel those arms and twist to the left. either staying there or taking a hold of the left foot with the right hand. Let's release. Coming off the block if you're on it, your last boat pose. Option 1 is here. Option 2, pistol grip those big toes, straightening the legs. And let's lower those feet down. Hands behind you, and we'll just take those legs for a little swish. Take longer there if you need to. Our next pose is our supported fish pose. So if you've got the 2 blocks, you might choose to have them running parallel. One's for the head, one's for the shoulders. You can have them neutral. You might choose to use 1 block under the shoulders, nothing under the head, or maybe you want to go a little bit higher to the second height. If you need to lighten this pose, take the block under the head higher than the one under the shoulders. When you're ready, let's recline. If you need a few moments with the knees bent, allowing your back time to adjust into the pose, please take it. Or if you're able to comfortably straighten and relax those legs, taking up as much space on the mat that feels good, do so. Arms out to the side, palms to face the ceiling. Breathe into the heart center. When you're ready to release the pose, bend the knees. Now, if you're on the flat side of the blocks, you might be able to just roll off to one side. Otherwise, turn the palms down, come halfway up to seated, remove your props, and then recline onto your back. Now, if you've got the 2 blocks, you might like to place 1 under each thigh. If you've got the rolled up towel, you might like to place that under the thighs or even the knees. Allow those legs to fall heavy, either on the floor or over your props. Palms to face the ceiling. And just feeling the meeting points between the back side of the body and the mat. Take a deep inhalation and pause. And as you exhale, give in to gravity. Feel that support behind you, underneath you. Softening the body. Quietening the mind. Let's inhale a little deeper now. Feel free to holler out the breath. Follow any urges to stretch or wiggle toes and fingers. Taking a moment in the fetal position whenever you're ready. When you're there, allowing the back to round and the knees to bend. Use your arm as a pillow. And just a moment to notice how you feel in your body compared to the beginning of the class. Have you found more space in the body? And is the mind a little calmer, a little quieter? Bringing yourself up to seated whenever you're ready. Thanks for practicing with me today, yogis. I hope that you enjoyed that yoga snack. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Wishing you a lovely day.